debt. Businessman is suffering, ana madom, ana nini, and some of those things ni wale watu mmeita hapa na hawako. County governments and CDF hawalipi, hawapeani hivi tunaitwa nini, hawalipi wateja wale contractors, wakikata is the withholding tax, hawaremit. What do you want the taxpayer to do? Wacha hiyo, tuende kwa localization of administration. One, we have a manager here. A manager should be seen as a manager. Uwezi kuambia manager yuka hapa and there is an employee there, ukienda kuripoti your employee anakuambia that employee is not under him, then your manager kazi yake ni nini hapo? Kama mnaweka manager Kakamega awe full manager with authority ya sort out problem, lakini ukienda pala na kuambia wale wana answerable to Nairobi, some are answerable to Kisumu, then why bring them here? E-teams, that's a very good idea, Mr. Bell. E-teams are very good idea, na ina store information up to 5 years. But when you want to bring in a new idea, don't you consult the citizens? Do you just wake up na kusema in November there, from this year we are not going to accept any expense or purchase which is not E-team compliant? Law is never backdated. Ukikuja na kitu mpya, let it start from the time ama patia watu enough time. Right now you can't file a return. Inakataa. Inakuambia kwanza ukienda tu pale kwa hiyo dashboard, inakuambia this is the amount of money ya sales na this is the maximum you can claim. Ukienda pale, no. Itoa. Are we going to pay tax on sales? Look at that thing. If you want to implement that thing, let it start from 2026 when Kenyans are aware. Kuna mtu ameongea hapa kuhusu rental. Surely. Hey, how do you put somebody's name kama huna pin yake? Will he give you his pin? No, he will not give you. So KRA should look for a way of getting these tenants, the landlord. Don't use me as a shield. Mimi nifanye kazi yangu. Kama landlord hataki kulipa ushuru, deal with him directly, not through me. Haya. Still on E-teams. When hii kitu E-team iliingizwa kwa sheria ya Kenya, ilikuwa inatakana ianze, wacha ile E-team ya VAT, that one has no problem. The problem ni hii E-team ya income tax. It should start 2026. 2025 mwalau watu wa file return, lakini mupeane education ya kutosha ndio watu wa file wajue wanafanya nini. I know you are coming. I'm an accountant. I am an accountant. Certified. Another thing is to do with correction. We are still in E-teams. When you are coming up with an idea, you should also have a window. If there is a problem, how do you sort out that problem? Ukiissue an E-team invoice, you have generated an E-team invoice. Then you realize at the end of the month kwamba kulikuwa na error. Maybe umechukua namba ya invoice umeiweka hapo kama pesa, inakuja abnormal figure. Now you want to reverse it. The law allows you, E-team allows you that you reverse it, but you will reverse it in the following period. Then KRA will demand that you pay this money and then claim that credit. How do you pay 10 million and then claim that credit claim your credit? So E-team, you must create a window. If there is an error, your error inaenda kwa your date, so that in affect your date, you don't put it in the following period. Finally, Mheshimiwa Obel amesema kwamba kuna mtu aliuliza hapa kitu kuhusu incentives. Up to 24 you don't pay. But you must be very careful with the 24 we are talking about. If 24 is salary and you have a rental income, then your income is not 24. Your income is that rental income plus the salary. We are talking of 24 if the total zile umechagua zote, hata kiosk zote umeweka pamoja, ndio zinakuja 24. But if you have an additional income over and above your salary and it ziko separate, then zitachukuliwa zote ndio ziwekwe. Ikifika zikizidi 24, then you are liable to pay tax. And that's why ile problem huyo consultant alisema, unakuja today unapata is clear, tomorrow is clear, the following day is not clear. Maybe there was an income that was not recorded. So in subsequent years when KRA wanaenda around, wanapata hiyo nini na wanaiweka kwa account yako, so you will see it reflecting. So thank you very much, na tufanye biashara.
Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, Kasale from Kakamega, the business community here. My question, I think, will follow in the same line the senior spoken here. Yeah, and I lean more towards this thing we call the special table. Actually, it was said it has been weaponized and all that, and the clearances were done. Then there were these issues called suspected case of missing trader. You know, just the same way that he's put it, don't use the taxpayer as a bait. If I've done business with somebody, that person is not filing their taxes, but me, I have an invoice here which I've claimed. Don't put me in that special table so that you come tell me, lead me to that businessman. You registered the guy. He is duly registered, he's giving invoices which are in e-teams. Now when you tell me, lead me to that person, and at that time you've suspended my business, it cannot transact, it cannot do anything, and then you put all the requisite documents you are asked for, you are told bring this, you attach, you present them. You are told there is one person, I don't know, a deputy commissioner or something, who is dealing with all these cases. So now when you go to ask at your relevant tax service office, you are told, bring those documents again, we escalate. That is time wastage. I think you look at this, and the way he said we empower the station managers. Let them handle some things. As long as they have gotten what is required, let them have the powers to deal with them. Thank you.
Hamjambo wote. Mimi naitwa Patrick Barasa. My question will go on affordable housing. Affordable housing. One, may I ask you about affordable housing? That affordable housing belongs to who? Two, those that are deducted of affordable housing, is it in share way or just those deduction will just go, that tax will just go hanging like that? And if it is a share in a share way, are you issuing out certificates? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. My name is FCPA Wycliffe Kibisu. I'm the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Kakamega chapter. At the same time as the chamber president, representative on the issue of taxes in the national office. Thank you very much for the chair, representing the chair, Honorable Shemaka, and RB. It was actually my trainer in tax, and I celebrate you. And Obed, who is actually running one of the critical units of this country, bearing in mind that the MSMEs provides the highest number of jobs in this economy, and they contribute around 40% of the GDP of this country, and also the NANSI for actually the being able to come to Kakamega. We have been waiting for you. We know there's a time you were supposed to come, and I flew from Mombasa, but I was told that it was cancelled. But we are happy that you are here today. And my line will actually take the same line, having the chair of also ISPAC in this region, and one of the founders. So I will first of all react to what CPA Meso has mentioned on compliance certificate. For many years, we can actually go back to history. Compliance had what we call a threshold timing, and it was within 48 hours KRA was supposed to issue a compliance certificate. That was part of the taxpayer charter, which KRA had actually issued. Now, we are happy because compliance certificate that there's nothing like any debt in the system. It is instant. Now, we just want to make a proposal for compliance certificate. Obey, let's say they say that in your system, and for those ones who are coming from LTO, I've dealt with them. They handle most of the cases instant and they support taxpayers. The most misused people, they are people who are in MSMEs. They can actually take endless trips in care offices, and eventually some of them curse in the first place why they actually went into business. Now, we want actually some of these things you put into your working manual. That you go back to that 48, that there are those ones who get instant. And the care can come up with another work stream of what we call interim compliance certificate. Because remember, when somebody is applying for compliance certificate, he has a need of it. And it's chances that he has a tender that he needs to submit in the next 2 days, or he's looking for a job that they have a deadline. So you look at it that if a compliance certificate because of these issues can take more than 2 weeks, by the time you are giving him that compliance certificate, he will not need it because that tender has already gone. So I'm suggesting that out of that work stream, you can actually say those compliance certificates who are actually are on your watch list. So that if you had issues that were pending, especially if I was given a compliance certificate last year, and there are issues that have actually emerged this year, you actually give me a compliance certificate and we cannot solve it within the 48 hours, I will get the compliance certificate, an interim compliance certificate. And you give me a deadline that within 3 months, if you don't resolve it, it will be revoked. And KRA has that powers to do that revocation. So that's one of the proposals I want you to make as far as compliance certificates is concerned. Number 2, agent notices, I want to look at it. The board and commissioners who are here. Agent notices is like a weapon of mass destruction. I want to repeat. Agent notices is a weapon of mass destruction. Because when the bank receives an agent notice, there are something that the way they look at you as number one, a non-compliant. And sometimes they might actually have a bigger problem in actually giving you money going forward. That is not the problem with the agent notice. The problem is lifting the agent notice once you have resolved the issue with KRA. I have a case, one of the cases in Kericho, it's not here, but in Kericho. They issued an agent notice on Friday when people were just about to go home. We submitted to show that that agent notice was erroneous. Yesterday, I was sending information. We submitted on Monday. By Thursday, I was told that it's going to be lifted. Until the client is actually saying, all my checks are bouncing. And I'm not longer going to be, most of those banks are not going to honor my checks because there's an agent notice. He's not money in the bank, but KRA has given an agent notice. That agent notice was based on a debt that is wrong. It was given on Friday, yani kama hiyo kamata ya Friday, you know. So by the time he's actually going home, he can't get money and access to it. So actually I'm wondering, and they are saying that you have centralized lifting of agent notice. That's what we are saying is that why would you centralize such a critical matter that is the lifeline of performance of business? So that's the kind of area I wanted just to recommend is that give these officers who are on the ground an opportunity once they have seen that an issue has been resolved to actually lift the agent notice. Those people are so busy, actually at the head office centralizing. And sometimes you can't blame them. They must be having a lot of cases coming from several areas. So they actually take priority. And because it might not be their priority, but for me, the taxpayer is actually closing because he always checks up the bounds. Number three, I'm very happy that RB is in this thing. And we want to go back to the memory lane. Memory lane. We had actually agreed with Karen, compliance shall take 1 year. Audit shall take 3 years. And if it's an investigation, then there can be more than 3 years. We are actually looking at a compliance taking 5 years. Why will it happen that way? I believe right now we have very good systems.